a WikiVidi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Croatian national football team. The Croatian national football team represents Croatia in international association football matches. The team is controlled by the Croatian Football Federation, the nation's governing body for football, and is widely supported throughout the country due to the ever-present popularity of the sport. Most home matches are played at the Stadion Maksimir in Zagreb, although other smaller venues are also used occasionally. They are one of the youngest national teams to reach the knockout stage of a major tournament, as well as the youngest team to occupy the top 10 in the FIFA World Rankings. Croatia has represented itself as an independent nation since 1993, when the team was officially recognized by both FIFA and UEFA following dissolution from Yugoslavia. However, short-lived national sides were briefly active during periods of political upheaval, representing sovereign states such as the Banovina of Croatia from 1939 to 1941, or the Independent State of Croatia from 1941 to 1944. Before the current team was formed, most Croatian players represented the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia instead. The modern-day team has played competitive matches since 1994, starting with the successful qualifying campaign for the 1996 European Championships. In 1998, they competed in their first FIFA World Cup, finishing third and providing the tournament's top scorer, Davor Suker. Exactly 20 years later, under their second golden generation, Croatia reached the 2018 World Cup final, securing second place after losing to France. Captain Luka Modrić was awarded Best Player of the tournament for his performances, thus making him the first ever Croatian player to win the award. Among other nicknames, the team is colloquially referred to as the Vatani or the Coccosti. In the Italian-speaking counties, the team is known as Il Furioso Incendio. Since becoming eligible to compete, Croatia has only failed to qualify for two major tournaments: the 2000 European Championship and the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Their biggest defeat came in 2018 with a 6-0 loss to Spain, while their highest-scoring victory was a 10-0 friendly win over San Marino in 2016. The national team is also known for some long-standing rivalries, such as the Derby Adriatico with Italy, or the politically charged rivalry with Serbia, both of which have led to controversial or disruptive matches. The team represents the second smallest country by population and land mass to reach the World Cup final, behind Uruguay and Netherlands respectively. At major tournaments, Croatia holds joint records for longest period between one goal and another of a player, most penalty shootouts played, most extra time periods played, and most penalties saved in a match. They are also one of only two teams, along with Colombia, to be named FIFA's Best Mover of the Year more than once, winning the award in 1994 and 1998. Upon admission to FIFA, Croatia was ranked 125th in the world. Following the 1998 World Cup campaign, the side rose to third place in the rankings, making it the most volatile team in FIFA rankings history. Pre-independence. Association football was first introduced to Croatia by English expatriates working on industrial projects in Rijeka and Zapanja in 1873. By 1907, local clubs had been established in Croatia, and a modern edition of the sports laws was translated and published. Before the nation's independence, Croatian footballers played for the national teams of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia and the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, though during periods of political upheaval, ethnically Croatian sides occasionally formed to play unofficial matches. A hastily arranged Croatian side, managed by Hugo Kinnert, played a few matches in 1918-19. In 1940, Jozo Jakovic led an unofficial national team representing the Banovina of Croatia in 4 friendly matches, against Switzerland and Hungary. Following invasion by the Axis powers, the Croatian Football Federation became briefly active, joining FIFA on 17 July 1941, representing the Independent State of Croatia. The side, led by Rudolf Hitrek, went on to play 15 friendly matches, 14 of those as a member of FIFA. Croatia's first recorded result as a FIFA member was a 1-1 draw with Slovakia on the 8th of September in Bratislava. The independent state of Croatia continued playing matches until 1945 and the end of World War II, when senior Croatia was formed as constituent part of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. From 1950 to 1956, unofficial Croatian teams were briefly active once again, winning games against Indonesia and a Yugoslav team playing as Serbia. The Yugoslavia squad at the 1956 Summer Olympics included Croatian footballers, as did Yugoslavia in World Cup and European Championship tournaments up to 1990. Official formation. The last Yugoslav team to field a considerable Croatian contingent played against Faroe Islands on the 16th of May 1991, days before Croatia's independence referendum. However, an unofficial Croatian team was formed shortly before, and played the team's first modern international game, against the United States on the 17th of October 1990 at Maksimir Stadium. The game, which Croatia won 2-1, was one of 3 games played under caretaker manager Dražan Jurković. The match against the American side also marked the introduction of Croatia's national jersey, inspired by the checkered design of the country's coat of arms. Although Croatia was still officially part of Yugoslavia until its independence declaration on the 8th of October 1991, this team already served as a de facto national side. Croatia went on to win 2 more friendly games under Jurković, against Romania in December 1990 and Slovenia in June 1991. On the 3rd of July 1992, Croatia was readmitted to FIFA, playing its first official matches in the modern era against Australia in Melbourne, Adelaide, and Sydney. This team was led by Stanko Poklepovic as part of an international exhibition tour. In April 1993, Vlatko Marković was appointed as manager. Croatia finally gained admission into UEFA in June 1993, which was too late for the national team to enter the 1994 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, as these already commenced the year before. Marković only led the team in 1 match, a home win against Ukraine in June 1993, before being dismissed in February 1994 and replaced by Miroslav Blažević the following month. The team's performances before Croatia's official independence were not recorded by FIFA, so they entered the World Rankings in 125th place. Blažević led Croatia's qualifying campaign for Euro 1996, beginning with the nation's first post-independence competitive victory, a 2-0 win over Estonia on the 4th of September 1994. Their first competitive defeat came on the 11th of June 1995 in a 1-0 away loss to Ukraine during the same qualifying campaign. They eventually finished first in their qualifying group, and won FIFA's 1994 Best Mover of the Year award as they moved up to 62nd in the rankings by the end of the year. Blažević period and the Golden Generation, 1994-99. Goran Vlahović scored the team's first goal at a major tournament, a late winner against Turkey at the City Ground in Nottingham in their first group match at Euro 96. After their opening victory, Croatia beat reigning champions Denmark 3-0, but went on to lose against Portugal by the same scoreline in their final group fixture. Croatia still advanced to the knockout stage, but were beaten in the quarter-finals 1-2 by Germany, who went on to win the tournament. In spite of the quarter-final exit, Blažević continued to lead Croatia in the 1998 World Cup qualifying campaign, which ended successfully after an aggregate victory against Ukraine in the 2-legged playoff. In the group stage of the World Cup, Croatia beat Jamaica and Japan, but lost to Argentina, before defeating Romania to reach a quarter-final tie against Germany, then ranked second in the world. Croatia won 3-0 with goals from Robert Jani, Goran Vlahović, and Davor Suker, all after Christian Warnes had been sent off. Croatia then faced the host nation, France, in the semi-final. After a goalless first half, Croatia took the lead, only to concede 2 goals by opposing defender Lilian Thuram, and lose 1-2. In the third-place match, Croatia beat the Netherlands 2-1, with Davor Suker winning the Golden Boot award for scoring the most goals of the tournament with 6 goals in 7 games. Croatia's performance in 1998 was among the best debut performances in the World Cup, and as a result, Croatia rose to number 3 in the January 1999 FIFA World Rankings, their highest ranking to date. For their achievements, the team of the 1990s was dubbed the Golden Generation. A considerable portion of this squad previously won the 1987 FIFA World Youth Championship with the Yugoslavia under-20 team. Despite good performances in their first two major competitions, Croatia's qualifying campaign for Euro 2000 was less successful, as they finished third in their qualifying group behind Yugoslavia and Republic of Ireland, and thus failed to qualify. Both fixtures against arch-enemies Yugoslavia ended in draws, which prevented Croatia from qualifying for the tournament. Barić, Kranjčar, and Bilić periods, 2012. Although Blažević continued his tenure in spite of failure to qualify for Euro 2000, he resigned in October 2000 following draws against Belgium and Scotland in the first two games of the 2002 World Cup qualifiers. His successor at the helm of the national team was Mirko Jozic, who previously led the Yugoslavia under-20 team to a World Cup triumph in 1987. Despite the retirement of many Golden Generation players, Croatia went unbeaten during the rest of the qualifiers. They opened their 2002 World Cup campaign with a narrow loss to Mexico before producing a surprise 2-1 victory over Euro 2000 finalists Italy in the next fixture, giving life to hopes of passing through to the knockout stage. However, they lost their final group fixture to Ecuador and were eliminated. Jozic then resigned, and was replaced in July 2002 by Croatian Austrian Otto Barić, the team's first manager born outside the Balkans. During Baric's tenure, most of the remaining players from the Golden Generation squad were gradually replaced by younger players over the course of the Euro 2004 qualifiers. Croatia went on to qualify for the tournament with a playoff victory against Slovenia, winning 2-1 on aggregate after Dadovc's decisive late goal in the second leg. At the finals tournament in Portugal, Croatia drew 0-0 with Switzerland and 2-2 with reigning champions France, only to lose to England 2-4 and suffer another elimination in the group stage. Baric's two-year contract ended in June 2004 and was not renewed. Former Croatia international Zlatko Kranjčar, appointed to succeed Barić in July 2004, led the team through the 2006 World Cup qualifiers without losing a single match and topping the group ahead of Sweden and Bulgaria. However, local media outlets accused him of nepotism for selecting his son Niko Kranjčar for the national squad. At the 2006 World Cup, Croatia lost their opening game to Brazil and drew 0-0 with Japan after Barić missed a first-half penalty. A 2-2 draw with Australia, in which 3 players were sent off, confirmed Croatia's exit in the group stage. The game was also notable for a mistake by referee Graham Poll, who gave 3 yellow cards to Croatian defender Josipson Munich, failing to send him off after his second offence. He later stated that he mistook Munich for an Australian player due to his Australian accent. Poll was heavily criticised for losing control of the match, and retired from refereeing shortly afterwards. In July 2006, the Croatian Football Federation replaced Kranjčar with Slaven Bilić, who played for the national team during their Golden Generation era. Bilić, who previously managed the under-21 team between 2004 and 2006, introduced a host of young players into the squad, which ultimately proved successful. His first game was a friendly away victory against 2006 World Cup champions Italy, after controversially suspending Barić, Ivica Olic and Boško Balaban for missing a curfew after a Turbofote nightclub outing. Bilić led the team through qualifiers for Euro 2008. Croatia topped their group, losing only one game to Macedonia, and beating England twice, who as a result failed to qualify for the first time since 1984. Shortly before the European Championships, first-choice striker Eduardo, who was the team's top goal-scorer during qualifying, suffered a compound fracture while playing for Arsenal in the Premier League. Bilić was forced to alter his final Euro 2008 squad significantly and recruited Nikola Kalinic and Nikola Pokravac, neither of whom had yet played competitive games for the national team. The team received criticism after poor attacking performances in warm-up games against Scotland and Moldova, but at the tournament they beat Austria. Germany and Poland in the group stages to reach the quarter-finals with maximum group points for the first time in their tournament history. Niko Kovac remained team captain at what was expected to be his final international tournament, except in the final group fixture when Dario Simic temporarily held the captain's armband. Croatia's campaign ended dramatically when they lost a penalty shootout to Turkey, with Luka Modric, Mladen Patric and Ivan Rakitic all missing their penalties. Croatia left the tournament with records for fewest goals conceded, fewest games lost, and earliest goal. Following the tournament, Bilić renewed his contract, becoming the first manager since Blažević to lead Croatia to successive tournaments. Croatia were again drawn to play England in the qualifying stages for the 2010 World Cup. The tie was voted the most anticipated of the campaign on FIFA.com. After a home win against Kazakhstan, Croatia lost at home to England, ending a 14-year unbeaten home record. The team was eventually weakened due to a number of key players' injuries and went on to suffer their heaviest defeat in history, losing 5-1 to England at Wembley Stadium. Although Croatia defeated Kazakhstan in their final qualifying fixture, they were ultimately eliminated as Ukraine, who had previously defeated group leaders England, beat Andorra to win second place in the group. Bilić was once again heavily expected to resign as national coach, but instead vowed to renew his contract and remain in charge, despite heavy loss of form, which also saw the team fall outside the top 10 in the FIFA rankings. Croatia were placed in the top tier of teams for the UEFA Euro 2012 qualifying draw. Croatia was previously a candidate to co-host the tournament with Hungary, which would have allowed the team to qualify automatically, but UEFA eventually chose Poland and Ukraine as hosts instead. Despite being top seeds in their qualifying group, Croatia finished second behind Greece, settling for a playoff against Euro 2008 rivals Turkey. Croatia proceeded to beat Turkey 3-0 on aggregate, with all three goals coming in the away leg in Istanbul, thereby qualifying for the 2012 European Championship. In the preceding group stage draw for the tournament, Croatia were placed in the third tier of teams, and were eventually grouped with Ireland, Italy and defending champion Spain. In the build-up towards the UEFA Euro 2012 tournament, the team's first major competition since their 2008 run at the same event, manager Slaven Bilić formally agreed a deal to manage Russian club Lokomotiv Moscow, thereby announcing he would resign from the national team when the tournament ended. Croatia opened their campaign with a comfortable 3-1 victory over the Republic of Ireland, with striker Mario Mandzukic scoring twice. Mandzukic continued his run at the tournament with an equaliser in the 1-1 draw against Italy, which was marred by controversial fan reactions and referee decisions from English official Howard Webb. In their last group match, Croatia suffered a 0-1 defeat to Spain. The late Spanish goal by Jesus Navas, along with Italy's victory over the Republic of Ireland in the final round, forced Croatia to exit the tournament in the group stage once again. Upon his formal departure, Bilić was also praised for his long-standing service to the national side. Jutangelis Daily labelled him as Croatia's only manager to depart on such positive terms and credited him for his strong revival of the national side during his 6-year tenure. Stimić, Kovac and Kasic period, 2012-17. Following Bilic's departure, former player and pundit Igor Stimić was appointed manager of the national team. Croatia's all-time top goal scorer Davor Suker also took over as president of the Croatian Football Federation after the death of Vlatko Markovic ended a 14-year tenure. Stimac's managerial campaign was unsuccessful, as the team endured a succession of poor performances and narrowly finished second in their 2014 World Cup qualifying group. After only a year of his appointment, Stimić was replaced by former captain Niko Kovac, who previously managed the under-21 youth side. Kovac led the team to a 2-0 aggregate victory over Iceland in the qualifying playoffs for the 2014 World Cup, with both goals coming in the home leg in Zagreb. At the World Cup, Croatia were drawn with host nation Brazil, Mexico, and Cameroon. In the opening match of the tournament, Croatia lost 3-1 to Brazil. The match garnered heavy media attention and controversy as Japanese referee Yuichi Nishimura was scrutinized for a number of controversial decisions. In their second match, Croatia won 4-0 against Cameroon, but did not progress from the group as they lost 3-1 to Mexico in their final fixture. In the Euro 2016 qualifying campaign, Croatia were drawn against Italy, Bulgaria, Norway, Azerbaijan, and Malta. Following a goalless away draw against Azerbaijan and an away defeat to Norway. In early September 2015, the Executive Committee of the Croatian Football Federation unanimously decided to terminate Kovac's contract. On the 21st of September 2015, Ante Kasic was named head coach of the Croatian national team. On the 13th of October 2015, Croatia qualified for the finals by finishing as runners-up in Group H under Kasic. Croatia broke the record for most goals scored in one match after defeating San Marino 10-0 in a friendly. At Euro 2016, Croatia were drawn in Group D alongside Turkey, the Czech Republic and defending champion Spain, who had won the two previous editions of the tournament, in 2008 and 2012. Croatia began their campaign with a 1-0 win over Turkey, following a sensational long volley kick from Luka Modrić, with the goal receiving praise and being considered one of the best of the tournament. The next match was against the Czech Republic, with Croatia taking the lead through Ivan Perisic and doubling it through Ivan Rakitic, before goals from Milan Škoda and a last-minute penalty from Tomas Nasid. But the match received controversy for crowd trouble in the last minutes of the match, with flares being thrown on the pitch and a steward being hurt by a firework during stoppage time. Croatia's final match was against Spain, conceding an early goal from Alvaro Morata, before goals from Nikola Kalinic and a late winning goal from Perisic, securing Croatia a historic win as they topped the group. Meanwhile for Spain it was their first defeat at a Euro finals match for the first time since 2004. After the match, Croatia were tipped as one of the tournament favourites, and drew Portugal in the round of 16, who surprisingly finished third in the group, advancing only as the third-best third-placed team. The match was extremely poor, described by BBC Sport as abysmal, as there were no serious efforts on goal, with Ricardo Quaresma's winning goal in the 117th minute after Ivan Perisic hit the post with a header in the previous attack, knocking Croatia out of the tournament. Shortly after the Euro 2016 campaign, long-standing captain Dara Josina announced his retirement from international football, amassing a record 134 appearances for the national side. Luka Modrić was announced as his successor for team captain. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?